Hello, and welcome to the Nucleus. Today I will be sharing with you guys why I believe the nucleus is the most important organelle in a cell. I am your host Ainsley, and today I'm joined by this ball of fur and fat named Willa. I would like to begin by talking about the anatomy of the nucleus. The nucleus is a sphere inside of eukaryote cells, and it takes up about 10% of the cell's volume. The nucleus is a membrane-enclosed organelle, and it is closed by the membrane called the nuclear envelope. It's a double-layered membrane and is covered in nuclear pores that allow certain molecules to pass through that the nucleus may need. The nucleus is also made up of the nuclear matrix, which is the nuclear lamina, and that is a fibrillar network. It supports the shape and the size of the nucleus, which has the same job as the cytoskeleton, but is more complex. Some other nuclear components within the nucleus consist of the nucleoplasm, which is all this middle purple stuff around, and that consists of chromatin, which will be used to create chromosomes during cell division. And chromosomes make up every single one of us in the room. And it also consists of the nucleolus. And sometimes in cells, there can be up to 4 of these organelles within the nucleus, because one isn't always enough to do the job. Now you may be asking, what does the nucleus do? To start, the nucleus holds the genome, which is all the genetic information that can be processed to create you and I. The nucleus is often called the control center or the command center because the nucleus controls or completes many different cell processes. One of the most prominent processes that the nucleus will complete is the cell cycle. The cell cycle is responsible for reproduction and growth of cells. During the cell cycle, the nucleus will also complete DNA replication, transcription, RNA processing, and mRNA splicing, which are necessary for life. Back to the nuclear envelope. This area of the nucleus is responsible for regulating DNA expression, and that is basically how your genes will express themselves to the outside world. And to follow that, the nucleus is also responsible for organizing all of this chromatin into your chromosomes, and your chromosomes are where the genes express themselves. And the last thing I'll talk about that the nucleus does is metabolism. The nucleus is responsible for the metabolization of all the chemicals that are made within the cell.
I see that the nucleus is important, but why should I vote for it?
Great question, Willa. The nucleus believes in teamwork. Why else would it have created the other organelles in the cell? Every organelle is genetically coded by the nucleus and the DNA that it contains. Nothing would exist without the nucleus and its dominating leadership abilities. Without the nucleus, organelles would be functionless because the nucleus is what directs and controls the organelles and the cellular processes that they perform. If an organelle is truly unnecessary, the nucleus has the power and ability to get rid of it. Sure, the nucleolus is a well-rounded competitor, and the cell would not function without their proteins, but the nucleus doesn't need those proteins to work. In fact, the nucleus is in charge of transporting and directing the proteins to the rest of the organelles. The nucleus and nucleolus truthfully work together. But who's the better leader? The nucleus is a significantly better leader. It directs and controls all cell processes, including the nucleolysis, ribosome, synthesis. And speaking of ribosomes, ribosomes are created within the membrane of the nucleus. Although important to cell functions, they wouldn't exist or even have a function or know where to go without the nucleus's supervision. In conclusion, the nucleus is a great leader because it believes that everybody is necessary and it won't discriminate. And no other organelle has the ability to control another one, thus making the nucleus the uttermost important organelle. With its leadership ability and role in the cell, the nucleus is very humble, and it knows that every organelle is crucial, because together we survive.